Welcome back to the Duo's Corner, and I am DJ as always. Do not fear, Ruby will be back next week. She's working on a plethora of awesome content, of misunderstood villains, serial killers, true crime stuff. She is working diligently, and you will not hear my stupid voice all the time. But I just had to jump in, and I know I'm giving you guys so much wrestling stuff, and it's so much to talk about. But let's just talk about it. The triple threat match now, I guess, that made official by all three dudes pointing at the WrestleMania sign. You know, Punk, Rollins, Roman, amazing athletes, amazing wrestlers. Obviously, this is definitely going to main event night one. But here's the thing, and this is the same problem that I'm having with the John and Cody matchup. It's like there's no real stakes. It doesn't seem like anything is like, ooh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. It just seems very anti-climactic. I understand we still have weeks out to Mania until they can really start getting into it, but it's like for example, this triple threat match, the guys come out, they spit the same shit that we already know. There's nothing like tangible. There was nothing like, ooh, I didn't know that. And it was like, okay, and he mentioned the favor. Okay, so we about to get the favor? Are we going to hear the favor? Or what the fuck is the favor? And yeah, Paul's kind of, like, I don't know, I'm torn. But we saw this before. We saw this when Brock came back and he was kind of helping Brock and helping Roman. So this is new for Paul Heyman either, to have him in like this I don't really know position. So this isn't new. Punk kind of came out, said his thing, great. Roman, they talked about, hey, Roman, CM Punk's the problem, we need to blah, blah, blah. And Roman honestly just kind of seems there. Like, Roman's insertion is kind of like, it's always good to see Roman in the ring doing this thing, but it don't seem like he really fits in this. It seems like this should have been just Rollins and Punk, and they can just finish this out. But inserting Roman makes sense because they set the seeds with the favor and things like that. I get that. But this just didn't seem, it's like they just brawled. It's like, okay, they're just fighting, and then, okay, there you go. There go your night one main event. And that's definitely main event night one. But you have to make some stakes here. You have to be like, okay, the favor is Paul Heyman go and say, hey, whoever wins night one gets inserted into the title match, which I really think is going to be the case because, again, that's WrestleMania. And like I said, we know Cena still got the chops on the mic and the presence and all that, but man, can he really work a match? And, he's, with the amount of, pain and travel and the shit he put on his body, I just don't know. If you think about it, his last couple appearances in the ring hasn't been that good. So a triple threat match will help, and it'll also be able to protect Cena, because let's face it, he is limited to what he can do. He can't go at that pace like he used to, which is nothing wrong with that. He's he gave so much of his body to the craft, so God bless him. But they have to start making stakes to these main events because then it just seems like a regular PLE. And this is supposed to be the granddaddy of them all, the biggest show of the year. And it just, as of right now, don't feel that way. In the main event, the mid-card is cooking. I'm more interested this year in the mid-card matches than the main event matches. Yeah, I said it. The Street Profits, LA Knight, but despite all the negativity, the Gunther and Jey Uso, there's a lot of good shit happening on the mid card. We got Rey Fenix potentially coming in and could debut at Mania. We got Pentagon. I mean, the mid card is cooking. The women's division is great. The women's championship matches are looking really interesting. I mean, everything underneath look good, but the main events I'm just not interested in. And that's just being honest. That's just my opinion. You could go ahead and attack me and call me stupid and I don't know what I'm talking about. That's great. But I'm just not involved. It didn't woo me. That brawl is like, it just didn't woo me. I mean, I don't, yeah, I mean, they're cutting good promos, but it's nothing that we haven't heard. There's nothing that's like sealing it. It's like, everyone's just brawling and fighting and, and Paul just kind of sitting there and And like, what do you do? It just didn't make sense. And also the fact that like you let the three most powerful guys fight for almost like 5 minutes till security come out. Okay, but then when Tiffany and Charlotte went last week, they brought the entire arena to break them up. But I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You want to see them brawl. You want to see them touch. I get it. I understand it. But, dude, they have to start amping this shit up. If, to me, if I'm booking this now to really get in some intrigue, you have to have the favor or somehow it gets worked out that the winner of that match get inserted into night's 2 main event. Because they are all three still entwined with those characters as well. So if that's not being talked about or eventually discussed in the next couple of weeks, I don't really want to see that match because again, nothing will really be solved because all three of those guys in the match have issues with each other individually. You know what I'm saying? So will anything really be solved unless whoever wins that sumbitch goes to night 2 and wrestle in the main event? And that way Punk can still get his main event at WrestleMania because I don't think, in my opinion, and I'm a huge CM Punk fan, CM Punk right now is white fucking hot. And yeah, white fucking hot. And you can't botch this. You gotta find a way to get him in the Mania main event this year. If Punk can fuck around in main event night 1 and night 2, then CM Punk's, I feel, status is solidified, in my opinion. So I feel like that'll be a beautiful way, and then you could have it so he could get in there. You can have him use the favor to where Paul, inadvertently, quotations, as I've mentioned in my other video, screw fucking Roman, or whatever. Or he could do a super swerve and end up helping Seth Rollins. It could go either way, but the story, how it's set, if you want to tie up this favor and tie up the loose ends, is Paul Heyman helps CM Punk get into WrestleMania. That's how you tie that up in a bow. I don't want to see Punk hold on to this fucking favor like a Money in the Bank. No, I don't want to see that. I want to see it actually come to fruition. He uses it. And if that propels CM Punk as a heel, I think that'd be great. And then you could have heels over here trying to stop Punk, and you got faces, however you want to do it. But I think that's how you do that. And kind of jumping gears a little bit back to the Cena and fucking Cody, like I've mentioned in other videos, is like, dude, the fear I fear seriously is when they get back to the States and Cena starts chopping it up on the microphone the way he does, he's going to have a big problem because the crowd is going to see through Cody, the American crowd, and they might give him some heat. So to me, with this entire story, if it doesn't end with Cody turning heel to retain, and he's being the one to start creating Rock supergroup, I don't see this making any sense. A heel John Cena is not what you want to see for his last year, even if it's a couple of months. I would love to see a babyface Cena, like a Clint Eastwood type of character. He's, people think he's washed, this, that, and the other, but he's showing he still got something to prove, and he's chasing, and he does get it, like, right at the end of whatever he's about to call it. I think that's a more beautiful story to see. That's just my opinion. Because, again, the biggest problem and the biggest hole in this story, or this quote-unquote, I'm just going to call it human being turn from Cena, is it doesn't make sense to include The Rock. He didn't need The Rock to do what he did to Cody. He didn't need that. The Rock was not needed in this. That's the whole problem with this. So if the story isn't, it's a super swerve to say, oh no, it was actually Cody. Cody did take the deal. And it was a super swerve to kind of make it this way, then cool. I'm with that. Sometimes a swerve of a swerve is good if done right. There you go, Vince Russo. Boom.
But I just don't know. Like I said, I watched, SmackDown was a great episode. It was really good. Again, we saw Jacob Fatu kind of solidify in that story that he's going to definitely be him and Solo at Mania. And I like that. I really want them to put the rocket ship on Jacob Fatu. He's going to be amazing. For a cup of coffee, I know I thought it was going to be Roman and Jacob, but I think Solo and Jacob would be better because you could really solidify Jacob as a legitimate star and a legitimate threat, even though he already is. Um, I kind of like the Braun Strowman and LA Knight. I kind of like that. Two faces potentially going at each other always is good if done correctly. I kind of again want LA Knight to kind of be a heel a little bit, maybe a little tweeter. But I feel like he's a little bit more freer when he can be a heel. I think he can be more, captivating, entertaining. Even though he's entertaining as a face, but I feel like he can get a little heelish. That'd be good. The Street Profits are fucking amazing. Congratulations to them getting the titles after 4 fucking years. Goddamn. Um, I like it. I like it. I like where it's going with them, and I really want them to have a nice dominant reign. They could really set the table. And then maybe, after Mania, maybe Penta finds his way to SmackDown. And then he could tag with his brother, and Lucha Bros can go after that title. It's so many possibilities. Tiffy and Charlotte. Tiffy, in my opinion, please, if you're more than welcome to disagree. It doesn't bother me. Like I said, just don't be disrespectful or dick. Don't say anything that you wouldn't say in my face or anybody else's face when some of these comments be coming on here. I just think the only part of her game, and again, everybody, I don't care who you are, it's your job, whatever you do, there's a part of your game you can tweak and work on and get better. And I think the main thing with Tiffany is the mic. I think she got to get a little more confident with that. She seemed a little bit of being directed. Charlotte just looked at like a grown woman. But again, Charlotte's been in the game, for a very long time. Tiffany's been in there not as long as Charlotte, so she's learning and she's in there with one of the best. But again, if she just got to get that confidence and that hey motherfucker, I'm here too, that voice. But overall, it was a decent segment. I don't really like the via satellite interviews because you can't really get a real emotion because it's taped. But it was okay. It was okay. Yeah, but I just that was again underwhelming. I don't know if that's the design how they wanted it to be. With these, I know they're overseas and maybe they don't want to give too much overseas. Maybe they're saving a lot of them when we get back to the States. I don't know, but it's like I was expecting a lot more in that, the talking chops, and it was kind of just okay, talk, yeah, Punk, he's gonna do this, and I gotta stop you, and you're just collateral damage, Roman, and that's all they kind of telling Roman is like, bro, you're just collateral damage, you're just here, and he was Roman Reigns matters, so the fact that, you know, Roman's motivations is just like basically saying, motherfucker, I'm still here too, I got something to prove, it's just not enough for me. And I know, like you said, you got the favor and all that stuff, but they just got to start. They got to start kind of building the main events up, like, because I'm not interested in them. I mean, a lot of it's like it seems like they're just booking them now, but it's like you got to start kind of nailing certain things to the wall, create some stakes. Hopefully the next time we see Cena, he mentions the importance of getting number 17 and what that means for him. And hey, I'm willing to do whatever the fuck I got to do to get it because I've earned it. I bust my body. I'm hunched over now because of all the sacrifices I gave. So I'm gonna do this one for me. I love that. If he could talk to something about that, and then Cody could still, beat a baby face till up to Mania. But I feel like even Cody knows the importance of like, man, I gotta, do whatever I have to do. I might have to not do babyface things to ensure that I retain because you have Cody trying to prove to the point that he belongs, So, they got to just like I said, you got to start giving some stakes in it, You got to start, making me invest. And this is just me, my opinion. I love WrestleMania. I love this season. I love it. I've been watching wrestling since I was a kid. And, it's like, this is the time where, you get up and at him. Like, you start swerving me. But right now, it's like, it's seeming too predictable and too easy to where they're going to go. So that's what I'm kind of waiting to see and see, can we shake this up a bit, So that was just my quick opinions of what I thought about the promo between these guys. I just felt like it definitely could have been more. And them just pointing at a fucking sign and now they're going match at WrestleMania. It's like, come on. Like, you got to make some stakes. So I'm hoping if it isn't Adam Pearce or fucking, like, I'm hoping on Raw, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce are in the office and they're sitting there and maybe Paul Fatty's in there and they're all trying to come up with a way to make this match official, no pun intended, and to probably put some stakes on it and say, hey, this is what we're going to do, end it once and for all. You guys are done. Whoever wins this, you both want the WWE Championship. Whoever wins this triple threat match, boom, you go to night 2. So that brings extra, stakes in it. It makes it more interesting, more intriguing. What's going to happen? Now you have Roman that has the wise man. You have Punk that's a Paul Heyman guy. It has a favorite, and you have the wild card Seth Rollins. I've read reports that what if Paul swerve them all and go with Seth? Because Seth is kind of the guy that's kind of like in that odd middle-ish. He's there, but he's not. But again, I don't want to see Seth in that main event because he doesn't really, well, he does fit, but he doesn't. If anyone needs to win that triple threat, is CM Punk. It is. It's just what it is. So that's all. Just want to share my thoughts. You guys have a wonderful day. It's a Saturday where I'm recording this. Decent Saturday in Chicago. And just enjoy the day. Peace out.